A battle breaks out between the Demon King and Jin Tojo. During the battle, Jin realizes that the little guy is not bad. The demon also says that the nickname God of War is not just a fairy tale. Both are using their powers to their fullest potential. Suddenly, the subordinates come out of the building to protect their master, who says that this fight is only one-on-one. Suddenly, a girl falls from a collapsed roof. Tojo catches her and leaves. Miyu has a good dream. Narusa, Yuki, Bassara and Maria have breakfast, after which the three students go to class. On the way there, the girls are surprised that the boy joined the executive committee. He replies that he wants to try to lead a normal school life. In the evening at the school, Shuten and Tachibana meet teacher Hozigawa, who wishes them luck in the school festival. As soon as she leaves, the hero glimpses something. It turns out that the blonde joined the committee, on the recommendation of the teacher, so he wants to try. In one of the offices, some guys are not happy with the number of fireworks at the festival, so much so that one of them wanted to raise his hand on the girl. Green-Eyed immediately stopped him, but they were not enough. As suddenly, abruptly on the arrival of Long-Haired, begin to obey. The other teacher takes Bassara to the roof of the school. The gray-haired one says he doesn't want to lecture, but he'd better leave those guys to it. He also adds, "Beware of teacher Hozigawa." A student comes in and says she's made a deal with the store about fireworks. While walking along the road, red-haired and blue-haired meet Takigawa. He decides to warn them, because in the last battle Miyu's power got out of control and Tojo was able to save her. They need to become stronger to help their friend in case his power gets out of control. Even if they have to kill him. After the conversation, he leaves. Late in the day, Bassara is about to go home. Suddenly a barrier unfolds near him, in which all people are subjugated. Our hero decides to fight, but suddenly Kuromi appears and helps him. Because of her sister's report to the village, the heads decide that Yuki alone won't be enough to monitor. Upon arriving home, the two are in for a surprise. It turns out that the yellow-eyed one and the red-eyed one have decided to submit even more to Tojo in order to become stronger. Purple-haired doesn't like this, but Maria says if the heroine hadn't made a contract with the sword wielder, she would have died in the battle with Zorgia. The succubus starts teasing about Nanaka's age, but she replies that she's older than Yuki. Well, if she's older, take that. The gray-haired one casts a spell and the green-eyed one needs to subdue Kuromi. After the ritual, the sisters went to bed. It turns out that Maria has a sister who got angry when she found out what she did, so the Demoness wants to keep the sisterly relationship with the yellow-eyed. The guy hugs her and says, "I care about you." At night, Bassara reflects on the enemy and vows to protect her family. The school festival has started. All the people come to watch, and Kuromi is not left out. Tojo introduces her to Tachibana. The other girls come to switch places with the guys and they split up for a while. Shaten finds Mia with Yuki and the red-haired girl says it's time. It turns out that all the girls have learned about a mysterious enemy that can subdue people. There's a large crowd at the festival today, so everyone has to be on their guard. Kajirumi Ito gives a speech and the games begin. At this time, the younger sister calls the spirits who will investigate the place and if anything happens they will inform. Blondie notices this. The games at the festival are going well, everyone is having fun. Here comes the mixed four-legged obstacle race, in which our heroes participate. Maria at this time dreaming of good events during the competition, wants to get there. The trio reaches the finish line and teacher Hozigawa comes to praise them, but the green-eyed one is careful with her, for he must protect his family. The spirits do find who is behind everything though, as Donu abruptly summons a storm. Nanaka immediately goes into battle form. Bassara immediately goes into battle summoning his blade. While his friends have to get the people away from the place. After dealing with the tornado, the hero is attacked by a guy in glasses, and it turns out that he is a vampire. As it turns out the yellow-haired guy was being manipulated. The vampire thinks Tojo wants to kill him, as do all the heroes who keep up with them. The guy notices the tears in the vampire's eyes, and asks himself, did he do it all? Yellow-eyed along with red-eyed are trying to find Bassara. Suddenly the long-haired one walks up to them. Shaten notices that the sensation of their presence is gone, so he quickly casts Tachibana aside and heads towards his family. On the way he is met by a green-eyed woman who cannot miss him. Teacher Sakasaki comes to his aid. Together with him the guy leaves, but the woman cannot be stopped. It turns out that the kind teacher has known his father for a long time. Jin asks to look after his son. Saki is a freelance exorcist. Shaten asks what the lady is capable of and who she is. The man knows nothing about her, but notes that her power is commensurate with S-rank demons. The teacher is running shadow control, everything that was done by her. The twosome must organize a retaliatory strike. Suddenly Bassara attacks the serval-haired man, for he realized that if Hozigawa posed a danger, his father took action, and if he did nothing, the woman was no threat. Meaning that he is the one who is their enemy. Sakasaki throws the guy back into the wall and takes the form of a god. Tojo doesn't give up, but the god has a trump card in the form of Kuromi. The guy has no choice but to obey his lord and his hand is cut off. He passes out, it looks like it's all over. Suddenly the hero grows an arm and becomes like a beast. A big-breasted woman chains him up and says, "You're pathetic, Ornis." Talking about the power Brunhild had extracted and he let it out so easily. The god says he can't forgive the fool who got her support for nothing. Turns out Sakasaki's real teacher was also that bastard. She was just faking it then, at his death, but now she won't let it happen. This child is proof of Brunhild's life. Ornis can't leave without her, and he knows the woman has sealed away half of her powers to come into this world. The long-haired woman has indeed been tried many times, but she has been allowed to use her full power in emergencies. One of them, a threat to Bassara's life. The god asks why she didn't let Tojo kill him. The Ta replies that it wasn't to save him, just to keep him from raging even more. Althea kills the god. Next, she saves the brown-haired man. She will change his memories so he won't remember how out of control he got, for it is early and one day they will talk about his mother. The festival is over. Tachibana tells him that a long time ago his parents were kicked out of the hero clan, the theory being that they were framed to make vampires criminals, thereby giving them the opportunity to hunt them down. The boys allowed it. Bassara remembers defeating Ornis, however he has a strange feeling that he was saved. All this time he was in the bathtub, suddenly Maria comes in with the girls who have activated the curse, he has to remove it. Suddenly the succubus sister comes in. We are transported to the world of the demons where the new king says, "Attack the ranks of the moderate faction, thanks to a relic of the ancient demon war." All because of a run-in with Jin Tojo, now we need to restore the face of the demon lord faction. The king approaches Luca asking about the research. She says that everything is progressing well and she will fulfill the order even at the cost of her life, but she is told that she needs to rest as well. Luca passes out. Who will lead the assault? It's Golf. Now they need an excuse to attack the council. That's where Takigawa comes in, saying that the moderate faction has summoned Narusa Mia to the demon world. This is a great chance to claim her magical powers. This can already be judged as aggression towards them. The servant reports to Ramus Master that she has received orders. As soon as they are prepared, they will come to the demon world, and also there will be an assembly soon. There will be people there to speak for the heiress from Wilbert's side. The Lord says for her to forget about them for a while. After the whole company found out that they need to go to the demon world, they support the red-haired one and say whatever happens there, we will be there for you. The whole group got ready and went to the other world. After traveling through space, the family arrives at Wilbert's castle, which is now owned by Rasmus. They are put in rooms not very favorable for habitation. Abruptly Zest comes to them. She is a maid here. Suddenly, Shella, Maria's mom, appears out of nowhere. Turns out Zest is her personal servant. The succubus sister has prepared punishments for Maria. However, Bassara asks her to forgive her. However, the adult says that just because they forgave her doesn't mean the gray-haired one's guilt is gone. If he calls her family, he should punish her. Kuromi was eavesdropping on the whole process. Because she did it, Tojo needs to punish her too. When we got back, there was a new guest, Klaus. He said he was honored to meet Jin's son. The demon served Wilbert. The man is surprised at the room given to the king's daughter. The servant says it was the Lord's orders, but Klaus says he will inform him later. On the way, the old man tells them about the conflict between the middle faction and the demon lord's faction. At the castle, Mia is greeted by the people with honors. The girl Noelle shows the city center, however it is very noisy, for even disguised they cannot stand still. Walking through the city, the green-eyed man notices the guards of the middle faction, which means the battle with the new demon lord is getting closer. The company is resting, but Zest does not want to be with them for long, for she thinks if Zorgia's former servant stays on their side, there could be trouble. She doesn't think she belongs anywhere. Some demons get to her. The brown man comes to her rescue and tells her to know her worth. The twosome finds the others. On the way back, the group sees Rasmus for the first time. Klaus tells Bassara he's not interested in her as much as they are. The new lord wants to extract power from Mia, but no one has ever tried to do that before. Who knows how it will affect her life? The new rooms turn out to be gorgeous. Kuromi is given the darkness particles, for her succubus sister wants the blue-haired one to take care of Maria. Tojo approaches the red-haired one to talk. Shaten says he knows all about it and asks who they think the red-eyed one is. The overlord says it's bullshit no matter what happens to her for the good of the people and calls her spoiled and stupid. Bassara was about to take the blade, but Lucia points the knife at him. Shella joins in too and says it's going nowhere and takes the guy into the bathtub to relax. Zest turns out to be there as well. The succubus mother says she can make a pact with the green-eyed one. The hero says that if that's what she wants, he's fine with it, and promises to protect her. The making of the pact goes well. The next day, Narusa, along with her friends, visit her father's grave. The next morning turns out to be horrible. Lord Leonhardt's faction has attacked the town and demand to bring Mia. At the castle, Maria has gone to look for her sister, and the yellow-eyed men are preparing for battle. The red-haired girl wants to help too, but her friends and Klaus say she must not go out. Bassara and Zest have already entered the battle. The others are coming up too. Tojo is fighting Gaff, however he is not doing well. Miu, seeing all this, runs out to help. At this time, the green-eyed one doesn't give up, but he is thrown so far away that he flies to Narusa. Turns out it was done all by Nibra, who has his own plan. Red-eyed finds the enemy who injured her brother. Using her power, the girl defeats the highly ranked spirit, but Nibra still has an ace up his sleeve. However, Rasmus steps up just in time. The demon has no choice but to try to kill the red-haired girl. Bassara is already here. In the evening the demon is interrogated. He already wanted to confess everything, but because of the contract of servant and master dissolves.